We are counting down the 12 new vehicle models that smart buyers are steering clear of in 2026. Backed by data from 400,000 owners and Consumer Reports' strictest reliability scores, these cars have become financial minefields, plagued by devastating recalls, catastrophic mechanical failures, and software breakdowns that can cost more than $15,000 in just 3 years. From family SUVs to high-tech electric flagships, even respected brands do not escape this ranking. Which model hit rock bottom for reliability? Let us begin with number 12. The GMC Acadia opens this countdown with a reliability score that is hard to ignore, just 14 out of 100, according to Consumer Reports data for 2026. This three-row SUV, once a staple for families, has been completely removed from the recommended list. The problems begin early and stack up fast. Owners report transmission failures even on vehicles with only a few thousand miles. Some owners have faced fluid leaks and sudden loss of drive, forcing full transmission replacements. Braking issues are persistent, with repeated complaints about fading performance and grinding noises. The 3.6-liter engine, central to the Acadia redesign, brings its own headaches, including rattling noises, stalling, and rough running that leave drivers questioning every trip. Electrical system faults add to the frustration, with power accessories failing well before the warranty expires. Many new Acadia owners find themselves parked at dealership lots, waiting weeks for parts and answers, as service bulletins and recalls pile up. For families counting on a dependable SUV, the Acadia record in 2026 is a risk most are not willing to take. Rivian's R1T and R1S enter the list with a reliability score of just 18 out of 100, the lowest among all automotive brands in the 2026 Consumer Reports survey. Owners expecting a cutting-edge electric truck or sport utility vehicle are instead facing a wave of immobilizing failures. Software issues are at the heart of the problem. Over-the-air updates meant to improve performance have instead left vehicles completely unresponsive, a problem known as bricking that can strand owners with no warning, sometimes within weeks of delivery. Basic functions like navigation, climate control, and even unlocking the vehicle have failed after updates. 7 major recalls have swept through Rivian's lineup, affecting tens of thousands of vehicles. The most urgent recall, announced in early 2026, targets a rear suspension defect that can cause a sudden loss of control and, in some cases, crashes. Many owners have required complete drivetrain or battery replacements under warranty. Even when owners report high satisfaction while the trucks work, the risk of being left stranded or facing a dangerous mechanical failure has made smart buyers think twice about Rivian's promise of innovation. Chevrolet's Blazer EV arrives with a reliability score of just 19 out of 100, putting it near the bottom of Consumer Reports' 2026 rankings. Owners are facing a wave of battery management system failures that can bring the entire vehicle to a sudden halt, sometimes in the middle of a drive, leaving drivers stranded and searching for help. Reports to the NHTSA detail cases of the Blazer EV losing all electrical power without warning, with no ability to restart or even shift into neutral for towing. Electrical system shutdowns have also taken out safety features like airbags and stability control, raising serious concerns about occupant protection. Infotainment screens freeze or go dark, sometimes disabling navigation and climate controls at the same time. These problems are not isolated. Dealer service departments are seeing repeat visits for the same issues, with no permanent fix in sight. For shoppers considering a mid-priced electric SUV, the risk of being left stranded by a software glitch or a battery fault is simply too high. Mercedes-Benz markets the C-Class as a symbol of luxury, but the reality for 2026 buyers is a harsh lesson in expensive disappointment. Owner surveys paint a troubling picture. 43% reported faults in the latest What Car survey, and nearly 4 in 10 of those issues were severe enough to leave the car undrivable. Consumer Reports dropped the C-Class deep into the bottom tier of its reliability rankings with a score of just 19 out of 100. The most devastating failures come later in ownership. Catastrophic balance shaft breakdowns between 80,000 and 120,000 miles can destroy the engine without warning. Repair bills for this single defect often reach $5,000 to $7,000 in labor alone, not including parts. Electrical problems are just as relentless. The signal acquisition module, called SAM, is notorious for triggering a chain reaction of malfunctions, from headlights to safety systems, leaving owners with a luxury car that behaves like a money pit. Mercedes placed just 22nd out of 31 brands for reliability, showing that a premium badge offers no protection from late mileage disasters. Genesis set out to challenge the luxury EV market with the GV60, but the reality for early adopters has been far from reassuring. The GV60 carries a reliability score of 21 out of 100, well below what buyers expect from a premium brand. Multiple recalls from 2023 to 2025 have targeted battery management and electrical systems, with owners reporting unexpected shutdowns of heating, ventilation, and infotainment features. These are not isolated glitches. The GV60 shows a higher fault rate than its direct competitors, despite its upscale positioning and price tag. Reports detail sudden loss of climate control during winter commutes and infotainment systems freezing, sometimes leaving navigation and essential controls inaccessible. While the driving experience promises cutting-edge technology, the underlying electronics have proven fragile, and dealer service centers have struggled to keep up with repeated warranty claims. Genesis aimed to deliver a luxury EV experience, but persistent reliability gaps and early recall activity have left many buyers questioning whether the brand was ready for this segment. For those considering a high-end electric crossover, the GV60's track record stands as a warning that a premium badge does not guarantee peace of mind. Mazda's CX-90 arrives with a reliability score of just 23 out of 100, an unexpected blow for a brand long trusted for durability. The trouble starts under the hood as the all-new inline-six turbo engine, meant to elevate Mazda's reputation, is now the source of widespread complaints. Owners have reported premature timing chain wear, sometimes before the first scheduled service, leading to engine warning lights and in some cases full engine replacements. Service invoices show repairs running into the thousands, with parts frequently on backorder. Transmission hesitation is another recurring theme, with drivers describing clunky, delayed shifts, especially when maneuvering at low speeds or parking. For those who opted for the plug-in hybrid variant, the problems go even deeper. The plug-in hybrid version scores just 20 out of 100, weighed down by battery cooling system failures that can leave owners stranded with no way to restart or recharge. These breakdowns are not rare flukes. Owner complaint logs reveal a pattern of strandings and lengthy dealership stays. For a company that once defined reliability, the CX-90's early failures have sent Mazda tumbling down Consumer Reports' brand rankings. This serves as a warning that even established names can falter when new technology is not fully proven. Kia's EV9 enters the list with a reliability score of 24 out of 100, but the real danger is not just in the numbers. It is in the factory welds. Kia's U.S. manufacturing plant sent out a batch of EV9s with a critical welding defect in the rear drive unit. The mistake damaged motor shafts, creating a risk of sudden and complete power loss on the road. Owners have reported abrupt stalls, sometimes with families on board, with no way to restart or even shift into neutral for towing. The result is a 3-row electric SUV that can go from fully operational to totally dead in an instant. NAH TSA filings confirm multiple complaints about vehicles losing drive power with barely any warning, forcing emergency tows. For buyers who depend on large electric vehicles for daily life, this is not just an inconvenience, it is a direct threat to safety and peace of mind. The fallout has been severe. Replacement parts are back-ordered for months, leaving new owners with vehicles that cannot be driven or repaired. This is not a software bug or a minor sensor glitch. It is a structural flaw baked into the heart of the EV9 powertrain. For anyone considering a big electric SUV, the risk of being stranded by a manufacturing error is a gamble few can afford. Honda's reputation for bulletproof reliability takes a direct hit with the Prologue, which debuts in 2026 with a reliability score of just 25 out of 100. Loyal Honda buyers used to years of trouble-free ownership are facing a new reality. The Prologue's electric drivetrain is built on GM's Ultium platform, the same system behind the highly publicized failures of the Blazer EV. Early owner complaints tell the story. Some Prologue drivers needed both the front axle and the lithium-ion battery replaced before reaching 3,000 miles, with warranty invoices showing repeated part orders and lengthy service delays. All-wheel drive systems have failed outright, leaving drivers with warning lights and no power at highway speeds. The most unnerving reports involve the automatic emergency braking system, which can slam the brakes at full force even when no obstacle is present, sometimes just because another car passes in the next lane. Scheduled charging often fails to activate, stranding owners with a dead battery after an overnight plug-in. Parts shortages are common, with some buyers waiting weeks for basic repairs. For a brand built on trust, the Prologue's cascade of failures across critical systems signals a major warning. This first-generation EV is anything but a safe bet. The Kia EV6, once hailed as a breakthrough electric crossover, is now leaving owners stranded for weeks, all because of a single component, the Integrated Charge Control Unit, known as the ICCU. This module manages both high-voltage charging and the 12-volt battery that powers everything from door locks to dashboard lights. When it fails, the result is total immobilization. Owners report sudden warnings, complete power loss, and cars that cannot be started, charged, or even unlocked. ICCU failures are widespread across 2024 to 2026 models, with recalls and technical service bulletins confirming the problem. Even after Kia issued a recall, replacement parts are in such short supply that many owners are waiting at least 3 weeks for repairs. Some owners have faced multiple breakdowns, with the same part failing again after replacement. Software updates have offered little relief because hardware damage often requires a full module swap. In some cases, the 12-volt battery drains so quickly that a jump start cannot help. For a vehicle meant to represent the future of mobility, the EV6's Achilles heel is a simple control unit, one that can turn a $50,000 car into a driveway ornament overnight. Chrysler's Pacifica Hybrid is the only plug-in minivan on the market, and for families who depend on it, the risk has become impossible to ignore. It has a reliability score of 26 out of 100, and this minivan is plagued by failures that strike at the worst possible moments. Owners report sudden transmission breakdowns. Vehicles stall in intersections, lose all drive power during school drop-offs, or refuse to shift out of park. These are not isolated complaints. NHTSA logs are filled with families describing how their Pacifica Hybrid left them stranded, sometimes with children in the back seat and no warning lights before the failure. The battery cooling system, essential for safe plug-in operation, is another major weak point. Faults here can trigger a complete shutdown, leaving the vehicle unable to start or to recharge. Some drivers have faced repeated tows, with invoices showing thousands of dollars spent on repairs that do not always resolve the issue. In-car electronics have proven just as unreliable, with touchscreens freezing, instrument panels going blank, and safety features dropping offline during commutes. For a vehicle marketed as the future of family transportation, the Pacifica Hybrid's pattern of stranding families and racking up repair bills is a clear warning. When a minivan cannot be trusted to get kids to school or parents to work, it is more than an inconvenience. It is a risk no family should have to take. Jeep's Grand Cherokee, especially the 4xe plug-in hybrid, enters 2026 with a warning that goes far beyond mechanical headaches. A massive recall covering 320,065 Grand Cherokee and Wrangler 4xe vehicles from model years 2022 through 2026 now hangs over every owner. The risk is not just a breakdown, it is a fire that can start while the SUV is parked in a driveway or garage, threatening homes and property. NHTSA's official advisory is blunt. Park outside and away from structures until the battery defect is repaired. The danger comes from the high-voltage battery, which can fail internally and ignite even when the vehicle is not charging or running. Owners have received letters and alerts, but many are still waiting on a permanent fix as parts and remedies remain in short supply. The fire risk is only part of the story. Grand Cherokee drivers have faced a series of other failures. fuel pumps that stop working without warning, batteries that drain overnight, and transmissions that lose reverse or slip between gears. Complaints logged with safer car detail transfer case problems that knock out four-wheel drive, leaving the vehicle stuck or unable to handle rough weather. For an SUV marketed as a dependable family hauler, these failures can turn a routine trip into a crisis. With reliability rated at just 26 out of 100, smart buyers see the Grand Cherokee as a gamble, one that could cost much more than a repair bill. Jeep Wrangler's reputation for off-road toughness stands in sharp contrast to the reality-facing 2026 buyers. With a reliability score of just 27 out of 100, this is the only vehicle on the market where a well-known safety defect can seize control from the driver at highway speeds. The widely known death wobble continues to haunt new owners, manifesting as a violent front-end shake that can erupt without warning at 55 miles per hour or faster. NHTSA complaint logs detail dozens of cases where Wranglers fresh off the lot began shaking so severely that drivers had to pull over immediately, sometimes in the middle of traffic. Technical service bulletins issued by Jeep outline repairs for worn suspension components, but dealership invoices and owner forms reveal a grim pattern. Attempted fixes often fail, and some Wranglers return to service bays multiple times for the same problem. The cost of chasing a permanent solution can soar into the thousands, with no guarantee of success. Electrical failures add another layer of risk. The Wrangler's CAN bus system, responsible for connecting everything from steering to transmission control, is prone to corrosion and short circuits. When these faults occur, instrument clusters can go dark mid-drive, airbags may not deploy, and steering or shifting can be disabled without warning. Reports of persistent airbag warning lights and fuel system glitches pile up alongside complaints of wandering steering that demands constant correction. For a vehicle designed to tackle the world's toughest trails, the 2026 Wrangler's unresolved suspension oscillation and electrical breakdowns create a worst-case scenario: loss of control at speed with critical safety systems offline. No other new model in 2026 places its occupants at such immediate risk from known unresolved defects. Across all 12 entries, one truth emerges: rapid innovation without proven reliability turns new vehicles into costly risks. Whether it is rushed electric vehicle platforms, fragile software, or unresolved recalls, the pattern is clear. Manufacturers are prioritizing speed over durability. In 2026, what you drive is not just about features. It is about survival in a marketplace where trust is earned, not promised. Choose proven reliability over hype. Thank you for watching. Share your experiences below.